To that breaking news out of Algeria, that country's government reportedly has mounted a military operation to rescue dozens of hostages, including Americans, being held by an al-Qaeda-affiliated group at a natural gas plant. As we've reported earlier, there are conflicting reports about what is happening. We're going to try to sort that out now. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross joins us live. Good morning, Brian. What have you been able to confirm?
Well, what we can confirm is that a military operation was launched at around dawn this morning in Algeria, and that it has now ended. There have been, as you say, conflicting reports about what the outcome of that was. We do know as a fact that some Western hostages, including one Irish worker at this BP facility, did manage to escape. We don't know the fate of other hostages, including 7 or 8 Americans who are thought to be there.
Now, there's always confusion in the initial stages of something like this, Brian, so that's maybe an explanation for the conflicting reports. The U.S. says Algeria has refused its offer of military assistance. However, I was just reading that a military-type drone was used. Was that a U.S. piece of equipment or Algerian? Do you have information on that?
I do. A good point. The U.S. military was able in the last few hours to get an unmanned drone overhead at the facility to actually get a first-hand look at what's going on. And that's their best information now as to what's happening down below. There are no U.S. troops in the region, and the unmanned drone came in probably at the point where the raid was already underway. Now,
Brian, we're looking at some animation, and it shows this plant. The country, Algeria, is vast. It's a large country in northern Africa, and this is a pretty isolated plant, about 40 kilometers, I'm told, from the border with Libya. However, this may also be connected somehow to Mali, to the south of Algeria. Can you explain that?
I can. This is in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and you have to get your atlases out or your globes to get an idea of the geography of northern Africa. The leader of the group, this rogue al-Qaeda group that is taking responsibility for the attack on the facility, actually operates out of a country to the south of Mali. Now, in the last 2 weeks, the French have gone in there in a military way, fearing that al-Qaeda was about to take control of the entire country of Mali. And the group that took over this gas facility says their attack and taking the Westerners hostage was in retaliation for the French military going into Mali, and they demanded that the French pull out or they'd kill the hostages. Well, the French weren't going to pull out, and that led, I think, to the raid this morning by the Algerian authorities to go in and try to free the hostages. So it's a very convoluted and confusing situation right now, but it's a reminder that al-Qaeda, while it may be dormant in Afghanistan and Pakistan, is very much alive in this part of the world, in northern Africa.
Well, we appreciate your taking the time to speak with us. Thanks so much, Brian Ross, and we both will be watching this story. Thank you.